fun, inspiration, stickers and playful creativity. Welcome back to my channel if you've been here before, and if you haven't, then welcome. Hello, I'm Kia and I'm going to share some interactive journal ideas with you today. This video is part of the Junk Journal January challenge, so thank you megjournals for inviting me. And my prompt is reveal. So all of these interactive journal ideas that I'm going to share today have kind of been inspired in some way by the prompt reveal, and I'm going to be working in these today. So a lot of the ideas for the interactive elements will be for things that I'm making for my reading journal pages, and then some other things will be in my actual Junk Journal January journal. So I also have a little flip through of this that I'm going to be sharing in the video as well. And I'm really excited for this one because I made a video on interactive journal ideas last year and I really enjoyed it. I find it really fun to just experiment and play and find new ways to make journal pages interactive, and I think you guys really enjoyed it as well. I seem to get a really good response, so hopefully you'll enjoy this one as well. One of the things I really like about these kind of videos is because they're just like snippets of lots of little different ideas. Hopefully it means that there's something for everyone, or there's an idea that can inspire you, or you can make it in your own way. So keep watching and hopefully you'll find something to inspire you and your journaling in this video. So grab your journal, grab your craft supplies, your stickers, your cozy drink, whatever you need, and let's get started with our first interactive journaling idea. For this first idea, I've made firstly a very rubbish prototype just to see how it would work, and then secondly an also rubbish but not quite as rubbish prototype. And yes, you are seeing correctly, that is a skeleton in a bag, or more specifically a satchel. And I know that's kind of weird, but this is inspired by a character in the book Bookshops and Bone Dust, which I'll talk about a little bit more in a bit, but I'm going to be making a journal spread about it. And I thought it was really fun to have this kind of like, it's kind of like a flap, but like a little bit more interesting, sort of a fold out character that can be hiding in something. I thought that would be a nice interactive element to show you, but it would also go really well with the prompt inspire. So I just folded the paper like this. You could do this vertically or horizontally. And then I started by sketching out what the bag would look like when the flaps were shut, and then carrying on with the drawing of what it would look like when it's opened out, which is the skeleton inside. This is just a quick time lapse of my pencil drawing, and then in a moment I'll show you what it all looks like when it's coloured in and outlined. Ta-da! Here we go. Are you ready for the reveal? Shall we do a legs first? Boop! Boop! And I like that if you like half open it, he's just sticking out of the top of the bag. So cute. So this little reveal is going into my reading journal in one of the spreads that I'm making about Bookshops and Bone Dust, which is this book. And it's the first book that I'm making a spread about in my brand new reading journal, which I'm going to make a whole video about. So keep an eye on my channel for that, because I'm filming the whole process of this. But just for the purpose of this little interactive journal idea for reveal, I'm going to show you me adding in my little satchel skeleton. So this is going to live on this spread, and I'm thinking it's going to go here. Let me just pop a hand on this page. If I put it about there, I should be able to reveal both parts and it still be part of the spread. So I am just going to like add a little washi tape, I think, to this bit as like a little trim, because I was going to cut the white space off, but then obviously you would see what's behind it, so we can't do that. So I'm going to get some of this book washi tape that I've used on the rest of the page. I'm going to cut the white edge off it because I only need a tiny little bit. I'm cutting in half, so we've got a tiny mini bit of washi tape to go along each of these edges. There we go. And I'll probably just do a couple of little stars on it as well, because I can't resist. And let's stick this down. So I'm just going to stick that part down so that the rest of it can obviously function. So here's our first little interactive journal idea for the prompt reveal. Ta-da! I'm going to keep opening and closing that all the time because I just find it really fun. And obviously not many of you are going to want to make a skeleton in the bag, but I think this is a great idea for like anything that you just want to have as a little reveal in your page, but not make anything too complicated, because obviously it is just one strip of paper folded in the right way. And imagine what you could have inside. You could do it the other way around and have like a book, or have a little character inside there. You could have a quote, you could have like a window or a building and then open to see what's inside. Anything that's kind of like popping out, I feel like is a good idea for that one. It's just like having like an open out flap, but just maybe slightly more interesting. I'm also wondering whether I should decorate these bits. I'm gonna have to, aren't I? Because I can't leave that plain. What should I do on here? I think on this part I'm gonna do, seeing as this is the skeleton. This is from my Bookshops and Bone Dust sticker sheet, which you'll see more of in the video that I'm making about these spreads, about that book, but I won't be able to fit it all in here, so that's in a different video. But I'm going to use a couple of the stickers from that sheet, like this skeleton. Makes sense to have him there. And then maybe a bone. And I'm probably going to write like a little quote or something to do with this character in the rest of the space. But I'll show you that in the Bookshops and Bone Dust reading journal page video. For now, let's move on to the next little interactive journal idea for reveal. This next idea is one that I'd seen a few different versions of on Pinterest. So I actually downloaded a template from Glitterati on Etsy, and I'll link that in the description below. But I used the template to cut out these pieces from an old calendar page because I thought it would just be fun to use instead of playing card, and also because I didn't have any playing card left. And this is to make an iris camera shutter mechanism that opens and closes like this. It looks so fancy and I was a little bit intimidated to make it, but with the template it was actually pretty simple, and I'm sure that you could print out this template at home and cut it out yourself by hand if you don't have a cutting machine. This little shutter contraption is also going in my reading journal, and this is for the page about Alchemy and Rose, which is this historical fiction book, and it's about being in like an late 1800s gold rush town in New Zealand. So it's like digging for gold and all of the dramas that come with it. And that's why I thought this actually really suits this page, because it's got all these kind of like gemstones, like golden nuggets on it from that calendar page. So I feel like it goes with the like other pictures I'm going to put on the page. I'll just show you. Like these golden nuggets and pictures of the like gold rush town and them actually digging for gold and stuff like that. So I feel like it goes with that. But also in this book, there's kind of a focus on like when photography first started, like Victorian photography, cameras, like the process. The alchemy in the title is kind of like the process of developing photos. And this is like a little camera shutter. So I feel like it goes with this book in two different ways. And I'm going to do something a little bit cheeky for the reveal, which is in part of the book. This is, I suppose, mild spoilers, but there's a part where they try to like take very tasteful nudes of like the female form, and it's very scandalous. So I've printed out some of the most tasteful Victorian nudes I could find, and I felt very weird searching Victorian nudes on Google Images, but there we go. I didn't think that's where this would take me, but it has. But I thought it'd be kind of cute to just like put a little one behind this shutter and be like, ooh, cover it up. So it's like a little, the reveal is a peekaboo of this little, I don't know which photograph to use, but one of these. So a little strange plan, but that's what's going to happen. So there we go, there's this little iris shutter mechanism as a reveal. You do not have to use yours for a Victorian nude, but that's the idea. So I'm going to finish the rest of this Alchemy and Rose spread in my reading journal video, so we'll get to that another time. I hope you like this little idea, and for now we'll go on to the next interactive element that maybe you can try. For this next little interactive journal idea, we're leaving the reading journal behind and we're working in my actual Junk Journal January journal. I'll give you a quick flip through of what I've got in here so far. So I have, this was for the prompts, envelope, cover and tickets. Then we have outline. I've been really trying to like just do completely different styles in this. It's like a playful experiment of a journal. So then this was depth and emboss and kind of tuck spot as well, because it's got a little, is this count as a tuck spot? I don't know, pocket for this, which is the first thing I ever made, well, the test that I did with my new engraving pen that I got for Christmas. So I just like tried to engrave the word embossed and I felt like it made sense for this page. And then I kind of took the prompt depth as like sea creatures, like deep sea, sort of mythical sea creatures, octopuses, octopi, stuff like that. This paper I thought was like kind of embossed and nice. You sort of can't see it on there, but it's like the silver bits are actually quite shiny. And then obviously some embossed paper. These stickers as well for like embossed and depth. I thought they were cool. They're like 3D. Then we have antique. I really like how like this is so different to this and this. It's been really fun to experiment with different styles in this journal. And then I have, this was for magazine. So these were like, this was the zine that I made for my journal club patrons for January. And then this was the digital download I made for them. So this was like a printable on how to make a zine, ideas for what to make a zine about, what to do with the zine. So I made this spread with a copy of this zine unfolded in the background. That's why it's like a nice busy background. And then these little instructions that I drew. So they're the original little doodle drawings that I drew to then scan in and put in here. And I thought that was cute for a magazine. Oh yeah. And part of the zine was about trinkets and how much I love trinkets. So I did add this little guy who was also in my journal club patron kits for January. He's a trinket connoisseur. It's a little magpie in a frame. So that's a little flip through of what I've done. I started off doing like all of the first few prompts. I did cover, envelope, tickets, outline, depth, emboss, tuck, spot, antique, really like going for it. And then I did magazine, and then I've been doing my travel journal from Italy. So I haven't been catching up with as many of these. And then obviously I'm also doing reveal a little bit more in advance. So hopefully there'll be more to add to this journal yet. But on this page for reveal, I kind of felt like doing something Valentine's themed. I know we're not onto Valentine's Day yet, but by the time this video goes out, it will be closer, it'll be coming up. So I've made this, which is, these are a couple of printables that I made for my patrons, but then also I made like a Victorian Valentine's ephemera themed kit for my shop. And these two that I made for it, I'm just really love, and I'm excited to use them. So I thought, let's do something Valentine's themed for this little reveal interactive element, and then I can have an excuse to use these. So I think I'm going to use these as like backgrounds for the page maybe. But my idea for the interactive element for the reveal of this one is going to be a little bit of an experiment, but it's going to be inspired by this, which I made in my Halloween journal last year. And this was for the prompt poison apple. And it was just a simple little like flip booklet. So we've got like the full apple, the apple slice, and then a poison apple. And I'm just really obsessed with this. I feel like it's easy, but it's like really visually striking and fun. And what I wanted to do was make a heart version of this and have kind of like maybe a broken heart and a full heart, or like a kind of heart padlock, like a locked heart, and then like you know, or maybe a heart locket, and then when it's open it's like full of treasure or something inside. So that's the kind of idea. I'd also made this little thing to experiment with because I'm really enjoying making interactive elements at the moment. This is a little experiment. I don't know if I'll be able to do this, but let's see. I was thinking of having like some sort of arrow, like a Cupid's arrow, Cupid's bow and arrow, and you kind of, it might work better like this actually, like folded. Yeah, and we could have the design on that side. So this is my little prototype. And so you could just move it along and imagine like you've got, I don't know, like a broken heart, and then you can move the arrow along, boop, and then full heart. Or this is like a key, so you've got like the locked heart, and then you move the key along, unlocked heart. So I used parts of this to cover the background of the page, but I'm going to experiment with making my little interactive contraption and device first, and we'll see how it goes. So that's going to be the locked side, the kind of heart locket. And then I think in the middle, I kind of want the inside to be like full of treasure, like you've unlocked this like heart locket and there's treasure inside. So I was thinking again about recycling calendar pages. So I've got this July page again. I have a few calendars left over because I literally put them all around my house. So I'm going to use the July page again because it's just such a good like collage of treasure and gold and stuff. And I feel like it'll be really fun to maybe cut out like a card frame that I can draw this same kind of like grey lockety design on, and then it'll kind of add some depth and make it look like the treasure is inside the locket, hopefully. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to try and figure out which part of this I want to be inside the locket and cut it out, and depending on how it goes, we'll either stick this down so we've just got locked, unlocked and full of treasure, or if I have another idea during the process, then I'll just staple this and we'll have a third idea, but we'll see. Okay, so here's the inside of the locket. I feel like this looks cool. It looks like it's actually full of treasure. So I think I'm just going to do like this as a pair rather than 3 modes. Just have like locked heart, unlocked heart, which means I don't need to staple it. I can just glue this down. And maybe I'll make like a little interactive key. Ta-da! Locked, unlocked. Yay! Now let's make some more things. So I started this as like a sort of broken heart, whole heart thing, but I don't really like it. I thought I'd show it you anyway in case like that was something, like an idea that you wanted to try. I don't know what it is, I just don't like how that looks and I don't really want to try it again. And I had a different idea. So I've done these little hearts and I think I'm going to do this as like the kind of 3 versions. I have 1, 2, 3. And to make it easier and just as an experiment, I'm just going to maybe try like cutting out different parts of this and covering them. I've printed this printable on sticker paper, so I should just be able to cut out a few hearts, and I just want to make them look different. So I might cut out, maybe that. I'll basically cut out 3 different pictures from this so there's like a bit of contrast and stick them on, and hopefully that should look kind of cute. So let's give it a go. Hearts I've cut out. I was about to stick them onto here, but I forgot that obviously we're going to have to make sure they go onto the right bit. So what I'm going to do is staple this first. Okay, now we have our little booklet, and hopefully the sticker paper should make this bit kind of easy, but let's see. Okay, so here we go, we've got this. I'm quite pleased with how this turned out. Her face in the centre of that crease probably wasn't the best, but when you open it out it looks okay. And then there we go, I've done a little board around each one. And then I'm going to attempt to make this kind of little arrow thing. So this is my very high-tech little interactive element. It's literally that shape and then a slit in the paper and then I fold it over. So we'll see how that goes. I'm going to maybe stick this heart at the end so the arrow kind of like goes into it. I don't know how this is going to turn out, but we'll see. And then I have these, which are my Love is in the Air stickers that are new in my shop for Valentine's Day. And I'm going to stick this arrow and this bow on. I don't know really how it's going to fit, but we'll see. And then I'm going to have to put, because this is on scrap card, I'm just going to have to put some washi tape over here and have the arrow over the top because it needs to cover up the writing, and I don't have any more scrap card. I'm on my last little pieces. That's why I've been using like bits of calendar and stuff. I need to actually go out and get like more card and coloured card and stuff. Of all the supplies I've literally got like an overflowing house of craft supplies. I've run out of card, which I definitely need for all these interactive bits, so we're gonna have to stick with this little scrap and see what we can do. Here's the finished spread. I'm quite happy with the writing, and I'm very happy with the little interactive bits. So we have the arrow. I'll hold it like that so you can see the arrow. I don't know why I have to make a little sound whenever I move that. And then our reveal, number 1, which is these 3 different Victorian Valentine's Day designs. And then our key reveal. Oh, sorry, I forgot to unlock it. Let me just grab the key. The key to my heart. I've done a double-sided key so we can unlock it and see the treasure inside. I think this spread has quite a few different ideas you could take away and like turn into an interactive element for your own journal spread. It's an especially fun challenge to find junk to make these interactive journal bits with, like scrap card and pieces of old calendar. So I definitely recommend just having a play and seeing what you can make. I do have one more idea for you, and that is going to be, you guessed it, back in the reading journal. This next idea is going to be about the book One Dark Window, and I'm going to use this to make our little reveal interactive element. It's a little bit of an ambitious idea that I've seen online and I want to make my own version of, so we're going to give it a try. So this idea is kind of like a torch or flashlight reveal, and I'm going to like make a crappy little prototype to show you what I mean. So we'll see how it goes. But imagine I draw something. So for this book, I want to draw the cards, because the magic system for this book has cards. And I'll talk about that idea more when I do like my journal spread for this book. But imagine I draw the card. This is like a little practice one. Basically, the thing that you want to show up, you draw in like a colour or something lighter, and then the rest of this plastic layer you colour in. Well, it's supposed to be black, but I only have grey, but hopefully this will still work. And the idea is that you have this against a dark background and you can't really see it very well, and then you pass a torch or a flashlight of white paper across it and it reveals what's there. It shows up, so you can kind of still see it just like that, but it shows up way better like this. And so because in the book there's a character who can see these cards with like a glowing light around them in different colours, I want to try and draw these cards and kind of use the paper torch to make them glow or light up or be revealed as they are to the character in the book, Elspeth. So that's the idea. The prototype doesn't look great, but we're going to give it a go. We're going to trust the process and we're going to see what we can do by drawing them onto here. Wish me luck. Okay, here's the drawing of the cards on the black paper, but this black paper is actually the back of this pattern paper with seashells on it. Even though seashells don't really go with the book, there is a lot of mention in the book of salt and seawater, so I feel like I can get away with this being relevant, and I've decided I'm going to turn it round so that the cards are on the seashell pattern side of the paper. I just think it's good because it kind of confuses it a bit more. Like even on the black paper you could kind of see what it was, and now there's a pattern, it's a little bit more like what's going on there, which will hopefully make it better for the reveal or the flashlight or torchlight, which is this white strip of paper. I've drawn some yellow eyes on the top because it's the yellow eyes that can see the cards, which would make sense if you read the book. And the girl, the king, and the monster they became. Don't want to explain very much because spoilers. So here's the reveal. When you put this in, and this will be stuck down to the journal, but I'm just going to show you it separately. It reveals the cards and their coloured edges, which is very exciting. If you've read the book, you kind of know why it makes sense. And there's the reveal of the rest of the cards. I'm so happy about this. I'm really excited about how well it shows up, and it's making me think about other things that you could make this for, like a little torch or light that shines and reveals something against the black paper. Whee! So I'm very excited to put this in my journal. This is going to be, like I said, in the journal spread that I'm going to make in here about One Dark Window and Two Twisted Crowns, the Shepherd King series. But that will be in a separate video. I just wanted to make this idea on here because I thought it was perfect for reveal. I hope you like this extra little interactive idea. This is what it looks like with nothing in, just in case you're curious. I quite like how that looks as well, but I think if I won't actually stick this down, I'll just have it in the pocket and the pocket stuck to the journal. So if I ever want to take that out and see what it looks like underneath, I can do. I feel like it has a lot of different modes, which is exciting. Ta-da! Thank you so much for watching. I had so much fun playing and experimenting with these interactive journal ideas. If you like something, hopefully there's a little bit of inspiration in there for you and you decide to give it a go, please share it with me or tag me. I'd love to see how you get on. I'd love to see how you make the idea your own. And if you haven't already, definitely go and watch all of the videos in the Junk Journal January collaboration playlist, which is on Meg Journal's channel, and I'll link it down below because there are amazing creators in this collaboration. There's been a video every day for January, so if you haven't been following along, you've got lots of inspiration to keep you stocked up for February and beyond. Definitely not to be missed. So thank you again, Meg Journals, for having me. I hope you've enjoyed these ideas, and I just really appreciate you being here because I know I've been a little bit quiet recently, and that's only because I'm working on lots of good stuff for you. I have like a billion ideas and so many partially edited or partially filmed videos, so I'm working on going through those and actually getting them ready to post for you. So if you like this, there's lots more where that came from for the rest of 2025. Thanks for sticking with me. I'll see you again soon, and in the meantime, happy journaling. Bye!